Hey guys, we are streaming live, and if you are usually watching, I only stream in my Facebook group most of the time, and I'm gonna put this on there as well. But today's topic is pretty universal, so I thought, why not just put it out there for everybody? But if you like this content and you want more, join us over in the Facebook group Rhythm and Radiance. It's linked in the subject here, so join us over there. And since it's a holiday week here in the United States, we're going a little early, and also to accommodate our beautiful guest today. So I'm going to go ahead and just let you introduce yourself, if you want to just tell where you're from, a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, my name is Corrine Earl. I'm from Winnipeg, Canada, just above Minneapolis. And I met Kristen in a group, an online group, very randomly. And we decided totally out of the blue that we would just message each other gratitude, like three pieces of gratitude a day. That's when I was with my network marketing company. And we weren't connected in any way. And we just started one day, probably already 5 years ago, which is crazy, if not more. And we've continued. And now what I do is I'm no longer active with my network marketing company, but I'm back to teaching in the classroom. So I was doing that when my children were young and at home. And now that they're school age, I went back to classroom teaching. So I've had a lot of moments where I've had to lean on gratitude in 2020 with all those changes, both at home and especially in schools. But I think I would have done it anyway.
Yeah. So here in the US, we're coming up on Thanksgiving, and you guys in Canada just had yours, is that right?
We have ours in early October.
Early October, so a little while ago, over a month ago. And it seems that in the month of when we're near Thanksgiving, it becomes very popular to talk about gratitude and gratitude lists and all of that. And I think I really started thinking about it, I don't know, more than a decade ago. I think it was Oprah maybe that kind of brought it in vogue and talked about gratitude journaling. So tell me a little bit about how having a regular practice of gratitude impacts your life.
It just makes it that much better. It helps you stay positive. It helps me stay absolutely positive. It starts my day off right. So I had read a while back, you might know her, Rhonda Byrne, I believe, or Byron, how we pronounce her last name. And she's got a lot of great books, but I love the power. And then also the magic is all about gratitude. And in one of the things that she had in there was when you wake up, the first step you take when you get off your, when you get off your bed or what have you, your first foot on the ground is thank, and the second is you. And then you keep going and you just keep practicing gratitude. And like you're 5 minutes into your day and you've already shared and felt gratitude towards like 25 things or what have you. And it's just such a great way to start your day, especially if you don't want to get up. A lot of times people, and I get up very early, and sometimes I don't want to, but when I have that thought about already recognizing that you're alive and that you're in your home with your family and your loved ones and this, it just sets the tone. It's just it's so good for your mental health.
Yeah.
But I do it really for selfish reasons, it feels like. I'm much happier when I do it, so why wouldn't I?
Yeah, exactly. So as you said in your introduction, we were really strangers. In fact, we were just saying before we went live that this is actually the first time we've spoken to each other. In 5 years we've been at it.
I bet you it's been that long.
I think it's been 5 years. Yeah. So it's so interesting that you could create a really powerful ritual virtually with a stranger. I said I didn't even think I have heard Corinne's voice except maybe on a Facebook Live that I checked out of hers a while back. So what prompted you to reach out to a total stranger for this purpose?
I think it wasn't about gratitude. I think it was about expanding my network. And it was much more that. And I believe we met in a Slight Edge group. Could that be? Do you remember, you know
I
that?
don't think I'm in a Slight Edge group. I was thinking
Oh,
that I tagged, I think I like tagged Slight Edge on Twitter or something like that, or I
okay.
mentioned reading the book. I don't really know. And I'm not even on Twitter anymore. I don't know what happened to my
Could
Twitter
have been
account.
the most random place ever. I have no idea. But that was what makes it so sweet as well. Like whatever group it was not important. Whatever topic it wasn't about gratitude. It was just somehow we connected in there. I probably reached out about a comment you said or something. And then the relationship was just organic. These
Yeah,
are always the best ones, right? So
absolutely. And so how is it having an accountability partner versus journaling what you're grateful for, which I know a lot of people do, and there's tremendous power in that also. But what makes this practice unique or different, or how is it different for you?
I think in like especially specifically with you, it would make me reflect differently on things I might not share all the time, or like there's a lot of repetition in the gratitude I share in the morning to myself, because truly my gratitude practice is very similar to a prayer. Like that's who I feel I'm saying thanks to. And so that there's a repetition in that as well. Whereas with you, I might try to be, I think I would stop and I reflect more on my day to try to choose like 3 different ones, you know, 3 little moments that I wasn't thinking about. And I usually message you at a different time in the day, like when you message me or, you know, like, so it's not while I'm in the moment of practicing gratitude in the morning. So it's often like a little burst of gratitude, which is nice too.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and I know that you are active in Beachbody and accountability in fitness, just like in gratitude, I think is huge. And that's what keeps, for me, it's what keeps me really consistent because, you know, sometimes if you get busy and you forget, and then I'll see your message pop up, like, I got to get on that.
Yeah, exactly. And it takes what, like 60 seconds at most?
Well, that's what I was going to ask next is like, how, you know, how easy is it to do to make a true gratitude practice? Because everybody's always going to give lip surface to gratitude, but to really take action on it, I think takes it to a different level.
I agree. And another thing that's different about our relationship, just from years and years, like 6, 7, almost 6, over 6 years of Beachbody coaching, when I used to do it very actively, most accountability partnerships don't last. They start strong and then after they fade away. But ours has continued. You know?
What do you attribute that to? Why do you think that is?
I think we both really like it. We must both get a lot of value from it.
Yeah.
And it's not complicated, and there's always new things to be grateful for. And neither of us have quit, like a lot of things, right?
Yeah. So I am sure there have been times for you, because I know there are times for me where I just feel like why am I doing, you know, like you fall off the wagon a little bit. Yeah. So how do you keep motivated to do something like that on a daily basis?
Well, I have to admit, I'm probably better at writing my gratitude practice for myself in my journal than I am to message you every single day, you know? And so with you, often it's more like, if I were to initiate it, it would be more like, oh, I have these 3 things and I just want to quickly share them with you. It'd probably be either because I'm having a really good day and I want to share, or I'm not having a great day and I want to bring my energy up. But if it's like a busy kind of situation, what would prompt me would be if you messaged, right? It's like, oh, okay, yes, I'm gonna write 3 things as well. And so, but for myself, like for writing it out, it would just be in the routine of the day. I get up really early, and that's what I do. I have coffee and I write in my journal like at 5 a.m. while everyone's asleep, so I don't have distractions.
So you mentioned, you know, about when you're having a really, you know, when you're not having a good day. Talk a little bit about the effect of a gratitude practice on the bad days.
it's so effective on a bad day. It helps to put things into perspective, and it makes you realize that no matter what, you're so blessed. Like you have so much to be grateful for. Even if everyone around you is healthier and richer or whatever, like sometimes we can let our minds go off the rails and share and like imagine all sorts of things that aren't true. But in the moment, we're thinking like that. Or for me, I find like I'm not usually down on myself, but I could sometimes get a little irritated with people will say like, oh, so annoying or what have you. But then gratitude kind of grounds you and it makes you realize like, no, it's actually really good. I'm actually grateful that I have this. Like it forces you to see things from a positive perspective.
Yeah.
Feels impossible. If your gratitude's genuine, I don't think I've ever done it negatively.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of a negative feeling. Right. So I definitely haven't. You could very much say it sarcastically, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I think, and one of the great things that I love about the exchange of the list is that you will bring something to my mind that I hadn't really thought about, like I just remember a while back you said something like, your eyes or your, whatever, something like your ears, like hearing, seeing. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we take for granted that you just kind of, shift my attention to be like, yeah, that's good. I'm not going to steal her list today, but I'm going to make note of that for the future.
I agree. That happens with me a lot with you too. And then it's not even because when I read your gratitude list, I naturally think about it in my own personal life. Right. So I add it, like I naturally even share it in my heart too for myself.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. Well, anything that you want to add about gratitude in a year like 2020?
It's not on social media that much or in the news. So really, I would remove those, like, to an extent. If obviously, if you're watching this is a very positive series that you have, and this doesn't quite qualify, but when you're scrolling and I've found social media very toxic this year for myself.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time on it throughout the years, and it's like, oh, it's already hard enough. So I'm removing those kind of elements and looking for the things that make me feel gratitude and happy. Yeah. And it's usually in nature. So it like, it to me, even though here our cold winter hasn't started, but it would still be cold for many relative to where they live. But even in the winter, you go outside and it's like, already you're grateful for your coat, or what have you. So it's much easier to find when you're tapping into things that make you feel good and that bring you joy. And, that's often in nature, with the people you love most, with the things that relax you, if that's a bath or reading inspiring texts.
Yeah. And that's really, I think, what this year has brought for us is that time to just kind of slow down and pare down to just what are those very most important things to us, like being with our family, being with people that we love, and like you said, nature and things like that. So there's a great gift in that for sure.
There is. And when you look around, like, because I haven't been personally affected by the virus, like in the sense that I haven't had it and no one really close to me has.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to speak,
sure.
And out of turn for those who have. But in my life, like I hear about it, there's a ton of buzz and I respect the safety protocols. But if I remove myself from all of the talk of it, really everything that is good in life is still here.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Well, I just want to close with, I always try to share an essential oil, which is one of my favorite tools. And ironically, this is not one of my favorite oils, to be honest, which is called spikenard. But every oil has an emotional and energetic component to it. And spikenard To me, it smells a little antiseptic. If you love
Oh, wow.
spikenard, please comment in the below. I'd love to know what you use it for. But spikenard is the oil of gratitude, actually.
Hmm.
And so it helps to, I grabbed my emotions book, which I love to refer to. It helps encourage true appreciation for life and encourages us to surrender and accept life as it is and opens us to acceptance and gratitude and much more. So that's going to be the little, I think it'll grow on me though, because I love that it's the oil of gratitude. So I'm going to just use a little bit of that tonight. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to come on here and talk about gratitude. And I hope that it inspires someone to start a gratitude practice, perhaps reach out to someone and get an accountability buddy. And don't just think about gratitude around Thanksgiving, make it a daily, hourly practice. And I am truly grateful for you for reaching out to me and for all these years of all these lists. I mean, can imagine how many lists we've created over 5 or so years. A lot. That's a lot of grateful.
So many messages. I'm very grateful for you too. So thank you so much. You were meant to be. It was meant to be.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for watching, guys, and happy Thanksgiving if you are celebrating in the US. And we'll see you next time. Remember, we're usually in the Facebook group, so come and join us over there. Thanks a lot. I'm going to